Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Krashy, and today it's time we dive into our first impressions, overall thoughts for the new all-rounder Dragonite. So, really quickly, post-production editor Krashy here. Just wanted to chime in. I keep forgetting that I want to kind of advertise my other channels really quickly, so if you'll take a look at these for me, definitely go see if it's something for you. Krashy too, post different kind of gameplay, Krashy clips, all kinds of clips from my streams, from my videos, things like that, and then just crashing is like a vlog kind of movie review TV series, just posting whatever I want to talk about, whether it's health updates, life updates, or just talking about anything. So yeah, definitely go check out those channels for me if you wouldn't mind. I would definitely appreciate your support and a sub, and yeah, enjoy the video. Bye. I played Dragonite all last night, well, a good bit last night. It was actually super contested, so I think I got like 8 to 10 games of Dragonite in, and I played a couple more games this morning. And yeah, I'm here to round up my thoughts, give you my first impressions, let you know what I'm thinking about the character, and ultimately try to ask the question of whether or not you should buy the character. So, Dragonite, very, very interesting. First and foremost, let's talk about some of the good things. I think the character's kit design is really, really fun. I think that, for me personally, all-rounders are my favorite, like, battle-type, archetype of characters, like the bruiser role. I love it. I love being in their face. I love doing all the crazy things and stomping around, doing damage, but being tanky, it's really, really fun. And Dragonite, he doesn't quite fit that role. Not exactly, but he has that style, that feel, especially depending on what build you go. And that's the cool thing. I think that the build diversity here is really, really fun. I don't think that it's super viable. So I think in terms of actual builds, there's really like one main build that stands out, but the kit design, the actual design of the character feels really, really cool. And I like that quite a bit. The boosted attack is unique. The ultimate is crazy cool. The different abilities are super cool. And I really like the kit design. But let's go ahead and talk about my actual thoughts on the character. I don't think this character's that great. Keep in mind, and this is a really big like disclaimer for what I'm about to say, this is all relative to other characters in the game. So if you give me this character, and let's say hypothetically it's the first all-rounder in the game, or hypothetically this character came out in a different period of time, then yeah, maybe it's honestly great. It's fun. It's a good character. It's fun. It feels fine. But there's nothing special about this character. Or there's actually one thing special about this character. We'll get to that in a bit. There's one thing about this character that really stands out. And yeah, we'll talk about that in a little bit. But this character overall to me just feels fine. It feels cool. I think it's like a B plus tier character. It's got some pretty decent viability to it. But I do kind of think that like anything this Pokemon can do, maybe another Pokemon could maybe do better. And there's one thing that again stands out about it. So let's go ahead and talk about that. The build that I ended up kind of landing on is Muscle Band, Scope Lens, and Buddy Barrier. Now, ironic enough, I was very, very certain that Scope Lens was not going to be good on this character, but as I played the character more and more, you start to realize that the build that is the most viable is the like 80 carry ranged attacker kind of build, where you're playing Dragon Dance and Hyper Beam, you're just poking from the outside, you're Dragon Dance and keeping their stacks up, and you're just auto-attacking a lot. So I knew pretty early on that Muscle Band, Buddy Barrier was for sure going to be the play. I tried Weakness Policy, I tried Razor Claw, I tried Focus Band, and yeah, ultimately I think landing on Scope Lens was the best. The build is fun to play. It's really, really fun to play. The Unite move is really unique, and I think people just like, that was the thing that stood out, like, oh my god, this character's crazy. Unite move's nothing crazy. It's got a long wind up to it. It's cool. It gets you around the map. But I don't think it's anything special. I think it's fine. It's whatever. Kind of my overall feelings on the character. The character just feels pretty fine. I think the more and more I look at it, I try to rank it against other characters that would do similar things and like what role it would take. So let's go ahead and do that really quickly. As a top laner, and I'm talking mostly 1-1-3. I mean, you can think about like 2-1-2 for like solo queue. But as a top laner, the character's fine, but it's not a Lucario. And for competitive, definitely not going to take over that spot. As a jungler, I think the character's fine. It's pretty good. You can definitely win games with it. But it's not Talonflame. It's not Cinderace. It's not Serena. It's fine. It's good. But I don't think it's going to take over the meta there. And now, here's the crazy thing. As a bottom lane attacker, something I really didn't kind of touch on or talk about at all during streaming last night, this is where I think the character actually makes the most sense. Now, why? Well, you are basically an 80 carry on this character. I don't think that the Outrage or Extreme Speed or any version of the builds other than Hyper Beam Dragon Dance are very good. So you're basically an 80 carry, and I could actually see this working decently well in like a duo lane or a tri lane, and kind of scaling this character into late game. So the question is, well, if the character's just okay, why would you pick it? You know, Pikachu just got buffed, Venusaur's still good. Why pick this character? Well, there is one thing about this character that I think is really, really good. The Hyper Beam secure potential is really high. This damage on this Hyper Beam is crazy. Like, I don't feel like the character does crazy damage all the time anyways. Like, I feel like the character does fine damage. I've seen 100k damage games. I've done like an 80k damage game myself. Character feels like it does okay. Like I said, the Unite move is the thing that's kind of like holding it back to me. It's just not that great of an ultimate, but the Hyper Beam secure, objective secure, that's the thing, man. That's the thing that I think is really going to be a potential reason to pick this character. So I think that overall my character, or like my thoughts on the character, is that it's fine. It's an okay character. Should you buy it? Sure. You know, if you have the extra gold you want to spend, go for it. Do I think it's going to be meta defining? I don't think so. Maybe some teams will adopt it into their play and use it for the hard secure. I could definitely see that happening. But at the end of the day, we still have cracked Pikachu, we still have Venusaur, so we'll just have to see. There's still Sylveon, Sylveon's still great. We'll have to see what teams decide to adopt it. So it's just another option. It's another option in the potential meta of the game, and the cool thing is as they start to add more and more characters and more Pokemon to the game, it's going to allow for different types of team comps to exist. That's really cool to me. So maybe as characters like this release more balanced, because I do think this character is perfectly balanced. I definitely don't think it's overpowered. If anything, it's a little on the underwhelming side. But as more characters release balanced, there's more subjectivity to build, you know, team comps. I also think that in general, for the sake of saying, we exist in a blind pick kind of like mirror matchup meta. And since that hasn't changed, you don't see a lot of viable options opened up because, you know, whenever teams figure out like what the best things are, you can just all run that. Everybody can just run that. So let's say hypothetically Venusaur and Pikachu are just the best lane attackers. Well, guess what? What is 90% of the player base going to play? They're going to play Venusaur and Pikachu. So there you have it. Those are my overall thoughts on Dragonite. I think the character is really fun to play. I think the ultimate and the kit design is really unique. But overall, the character just feels fine. Seems like it can do some damage. You can definitely win some games with it. But I'll be excited to see how much it gets adopted into the like competitive meta or the meta in general, because I don't really think that it's super crazy strong, but it's pretty fun. So all in all, let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below. I'm really, really interested to hear what y'all are thinking about it. Definitely think that Hyper Beam is like the kind of like the thing, right? It's the thing. It's the reason why the character will get played, because it's pretty nuts. Hyper Beam's pretty good, but overall, yeah, character's just okay. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. As always, friends, be sure to be kind to one another. Tell someone that you love them, and I will see you on the next video.